So let's see. So with all these things, now it is time to redefine our roles and responsibilities. We cannot have the same roles and responsibilities for decades together. So to be the true business partner, what needs to be redefined is deliverable in terms of roles and responsibilities of HRBP. So first thing is helping HR, Center of Excellence, to deliver most efficient and up-to-date processes. So we have to redesign the whole process, starting from a hiring process to retiring process. Everywhere we need to introduce a process and system. We have to have no more paper-based, no more traditional. We have to have the world-class systems in the organization. Then leading talent management process. Organization without people is zero, nothing. So we have to have a leading talent management process where HR business partners lead the effort and develop and deliver the long-term strategy to ensure continuous development and retention of the key employees and the potential successors. So our job is to hire the best talent. Our job is to develop them world-class and also keep them in the organization so that they contribute. We have to deliver by developing human resource programs that increase employee productivity by focusing on business obstacles and outside of human resources. So we have to have some programs to increase the productivity. Human has the enormous potentialities and capacity. The problem is, in many cases, we cannot utilize our human resources. We have a serious lacking in our systems, in our process, in our programs. So time has come to develop some programs so that we can increase the productivity by focusing on and removing the business obstacles and occur outside of the human resources. Championing change management process. As I mentioned, one of the role of HR professional, according to Deb Ulrich, is change agent. We should be the champion of the change process, acting as an impartial advisor for the employees in difficult situations. So we should, take care of all the changes in the organization, changes in the soft skills and hard skills, the structure, policy, procedures, in everywhere. Integration of technology and IT, we have to champion ourselves. And don't forget that HR is governed by some laws and regulation of the state. So we have to make sure we are fully compliant of the legal laws and regulations. We have to comply with our own regulations of the company, and we have to also comply with the country regulations. In case of Bangladesh, we have Bangladesh Labor Act, which is applicable for every organization, and their minimum standard is given. You have no right, no choice to bypass it. HR has access to the people-related data, which insight into the overall capacity of the existing workforce. It has access to all parts of the organization and so is able to perceive the interrelationships, strengths and weakness of the organization in a far better way than anyone else. HRBP has to leverage on this unique set of data to support information, implementation of organizational business strategy and objectives. So you see, HR is no more only HR. We are more involved now in the business. We are more involved in organizational development. We are more involved in organizational restructure and re-engineering of the business processes. Now see, what is the competency shifted? We have two types of competency. One is skills and knowledge, which is visible. We can see people's skills and knowledge. From the traditional HR, our skill is on processing skills, administrative and policy knowledge. But HR business, under HR business partnership, we should develop a diagnostic skills. Organizational diagnosis should be done by HR. We should have the knowledge on system and policy. We should understand what is the knowledge on system and policy. So in terms of, above the surface, skills and knowledge. But in terms of, if you compare this with the iceberg, if you see under the iceberg, which usually you don't see, and this is very much true in case of people. You can only see the skills and knowledge of the people, but you often don't see social role, self-image, trait, motive, intention, values, beliefs. You don't see them. You can only imagine. You are introducing me with, you just introduced me with me. You have no idea what is my values and beliefs. You can assess my knowledge and skills by seeing my lecture, but you cannot assess my value system. In my ethics, you cannot. It's very difficult. So for those, traditional approach was the C's, self as ensuring compliance, attention to details, achievement oriented. But now focus should be see self as enabling others. As HR, I should be able to enable others. There should be flexibility. Nothing is cast in stone in the world. Everything is changeable. Customer service, and we should focus more on customer service and focus more on lifelong learning. Everybody, every day in the organization should learn something new. And they should apply those learning for the development of the employees and the organizations. So we have to have a shift. The newcomers will definitely start with the new things, but those who are working, we have to actually shift from traditional HR to HR business partnership. Any question here? No question?
No question.
Maybe you can elaborate further on the diagnostic skills.
Yeah, thank you for asking the question. Let me explain the diagnostic skills. Actually, diagnostic skills is the thorough analysis and assessment of the current situation. When I am saying diagnostic skills, it could be diagnosis of your existing workforce. It could be diagnosis of the existing systems, whether it is feasible. Diagnostics of your existing structure, diagnosis of your customer profile. So this is a rigorous analysis about customer, system, policy, procedures, and after the assessment, if you feel you have to change it. So this is a one kind of rigorous analysis assessment of the current situation. Is it clear to all of you?
Clear.
Okay. So now you see, if you really want to strategic business partner, first we have to see what are the competencies we need. HR people often a lack of required competencies. So we have to first see what are the competencies necessary for the HR? Competencies nowadays, in addition to our functional expertise, we have to have the strategic acumen of the business. We should know how to assess, how to develop, and how to introduce a new systems in the organizations, new policies in the organization, how we remain competitive with our highly skilled and competent people. We should understand the business alignment. We are here as HR to support the business. So business should be able to get help from us. We should align HR vision with the organizational vision. Only then we will be able to be a strategic partner. We need to be a strategic partner, but before that, we have to have the business alignment. We have to have the required competencies. We have to have the aligned HR vision. Once we are a strategic business partner, ultimate, all three of these elements are needed to ensure a successful transition of the HR business partner. So before transition, we need to acquire these three in order to make a strategic HR business partner. So we need a transformation. When we need a transformation, timing and approach, ideally the role of a business partner is examined and transformed during the implementation of the shared goals services. However, this process can also be done at the later point in this. Timing of consideration, integration of the shared service implementation plan to process redesign, staffing, training, and integration of the organizational performance management cycle. Many organizations, they do not have the comprehensive performance management system, which is fully aligned with the reward systems. If you cannot have a comprehensive performance management system by linking the reward system, people will demonstrate ordinary performance. In order to see people are demonstrating superior performance, we have to have aligned organizational performance with individual performance and reward system. There are three main phases in transforming the role of HR business partner. Three roles: define, assess, and develop. Under define, what we do? Under define phase, it is important for organization to clearly identify and communicate the business, what constitute a successful HR business partner in the new organization. First thing, existing competency model. Unfortunately, many organizations in Bangladesh, they do not have any competency model. In many Asian countries, I have seen the same situation. So when you have already an existing competency model, you can revise it, review it. What about if you do not have any model already? Then your job, my job, would be develop a new competency model. We have to develop a new competency model because this competency model usually develop in three tiers: basic, proficient, and mastery level competency. If you are the HR director, HR head, you must have a mastery level competency in communication, in team building, in presentations, in strategic alignment, those. And then we have to define customer input. In many areas in HR, we don't take the input from the customer. How many of you have a consultation with the applicant in order to know whether your recruitment process is comfortable to them? So we have the time to review and check with the customer in order to take their inputs. If we don't take their inputs, our system might be one-sided. Suppose the applicants are applying in your organization. How they find our system? Is it friendly? It is cumbersome or what? And then we should develop definition of the different level of competencies. If I am asking for mastery level competency for a senior manager, what does it mean to you? What is the meaning of the mastery level competency? What is the meaning of the proficiency level competency? What is the meaning of the basic competencies? If somebody is the HR officer, basic competency is okay. If somebody is the senior HR manager, then proficiency level HR is necessary. What about if you are a director or head of HR? You need a mastery level competency. So that definition and difference between mastery, proficient, and basic should be clearly differentiate. So we have to define this. In many organizations, we do not have the defined system, written system. Now it is high time to define, particularly the competency model, and develop a system of listening from the customers. Then assess. You have to assess. I have to assess our current system. Our current organization system, productivity, output, result should be assessed. And for assessment, we have to choose the right methodology and timing. Because of the technological advancement, a lot of assessment should be conducted by web survey, conducted by using ITs. And we should take views from different type of people, different type of segment of the customers, and different type of employees. Because if our assessment is not correct, assessment is wrong, everything will be wrong. So we should choose the right methodology, fair and transparent system, and timing. Then we should review the process. We should review our existing process, whether these are useful. If not, we have to redesign a new process. And once it is agreed upon by each and every one, we should communicate and disseminate that to each and every one in the organization. Remember, if you really want fully compliances, you have to disseminate and educate your people. If they don't know, if they don't understand, compliance level will be very, very low. So, proper methodology and timing should be determined. We have to review each and every process, develop them, and communicate to internal and external customers. Once we have assessment, now that we have the current data, assessment will help you to get the current data about the organization, about the people of the organization, about the system of the organization, about the policies of the organization, about the productivity and output of the organization. Then we have to share those results with the people, with the employees. Nothing is secret. Remember, success of the organization depends on all of us. So if you hide something to me, I'm in the dark. I might not understand and do something wrong. So it is always better to share the result with the concerned people, and then we should decide how we'll make the transition. Transition means shifting from your current situation, current position to a new situation. If you really want to be HR business partner, we have to shift our focus from current situation to desired state, desired situation. And once we have done it, the next question is coming a measurement. We have assess, we have developed a new system, we have made the transition of the system. Now we have to see whether we are getting the right result. A proper measurement system should be there. A reliable, comfortable, transparent measurement system should develop in the organization in order to see whether our new systems is working, whether our new process is working, whether customers are happy, whether right results are coming. And that measurement should be continuous. You have no luxury to measure only once in a year or once in a quarter. We have to measure on a frequent basis. Any question up to here? Have you understood what I am saying? Is these are understandable?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So that's all about the overview of the HR business partnering model. Actually, I have planned 15-20 minutes for a question answer, because usually the group is bigger, a lot of questions are coming. But in this case, small is beauty. You are only 3-4 person. But again, I see you have a lot of patience. You have participated. So any question from any of you on any of the areas which I have discussed?
Because for example, distance shifting, like for example, in my current company right now, how would you slowly introduce it to the management? Like there are some things that you do traditional right now, and then you want to do the transfer, like you transform, but surely it will impact it, right? But how would you slowly introduce it?
You see, there is a there are many theories of change. Kurt Lewin theory, John Cotter's theory, a lot of theories. Any change, I tell you, any change in the organization require to plan. And it has to be very, very gradual, slow. People, mind is a status quo mind. They want to be as it is. They maintain the status quo. But the world is not a status quo, it's changing. People's mindset changing, expectation changing, everything is changing. So if you really want to make a good transition, then there is a theory developed by Thomas Lewin. His theory's name is frog theory. You understand frog? Which are usually living in the water, cold water, frog.
Yeah.
So for any reason, if you want to keep the frog into the hot waters, can you do just pick up the frog from the cold water and put in the hot water is not going to work. What you have to do? You have to
Slowly.
keep the frog, and maybe first day you raise 1 degree, 2 degree temperature, then stop it. Second day you raise another 1 degree, 2 degree temperature, stop it. This way it may take a month or two in order to put the frog into hot water. Human psychology, human behavior has lots of similarity with the frog. That's why if you study biology, if you want to be a doctor, physician, you have to study biology in order to, cut the frogs in order to understand the dynamics, because there are similarities than people and frogs. So it has to be proper plan and very gradually you go. Chances of failure is high if you hurry it. Don't do hurry, because the organization past 10 years, 20 years, let wait for another 1 or 2 years. Don't do any hurry. It could be a disaster. So transition is very, very challenging, difficult, time consuming. You have to keep a lot of patience before making any transition in the organization. In many cases, there was a study on change acceptability. The study revealed about 82% of the employees usually resist for changes in the organization. 82% of the employees resist changes in the organization. So this is the reality of a survey conducted by the World Federation. Okay, understood?
Yeah, thank you very much for that insightful.
Okay, thank you. Any other question from anyone? Michael?
Yeah, Mr. Hussein, can I also just get to know a little bit more about the maybe when you speak about the competencies, right? So for maybe at the HR manager level, competencies that's usually required or from the HR managers. Can you just elaborate on that, or maybe on a senior manager level, probably also?
let me show you
Mhm.
what I have developed for Asia Pacific HR managers. Let me find it. Can you allow me a minute or two? Let me
Take your
see.
time. Thank
Let
you.
me,
I
let
hope
me
the others are also okay.
let me see if I can get it. I hope. So you see, if you want to be a credible activist, I have made 3 provisions. This is the model I developed for the Asia Pacific managers, like you are also part of Asia Pacific.
Yep.
I have categorized in 3 ways. Professional, which are frontline, managerial or middle level, executive is the top level. So you see, for the credible activist, from the professional, you want the competency to communicate with effective interpersonal skills, demonstrate high integrity and compliances, does what is promised, act as role model in the organization, build personal relationship of trust. Whereas from the senior HR professional, create and maintain positive connections with customers and co-workers, reduce stress and increase producing productive energy by generating constructive outcomes of the most challenging problems and toughest workplace situation. Implement long-term behavior changes that leads to truly remarkable result. Take strong position about business issues that are grounded in sound data and thoughtful idea. Demonstrate leadership and act as role model on organizational values and culture. So you see there is a clearly difference. If you are a senior professional, this is your competency needed. If you are just a professional, this is so this is in the area of credible activist. Let me show it. Then for operational expert, you have again. Like you see, for the operational expert, I said you don't need any competency because you are a head of HR or director HR. You are not here to do the operational things. You understand my point?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So this way, I have developed, if it is social media expert, so in every area, change champion. We don't expect a frontline people to work on the change model.
Mm.
They are not here to do it. It is the executive and the managerial people will be doing it. Because managing change in the organization require high level attention. So this way, if you want, you can create the competency model for your organization. I have done this for Asia Pacific organization. I have done this for my organization. This is what is necessary. This is the just example I have shown. Is it clear to you? Do you understand what
Yeah, clear. Are you sharing this with us or you're not sharing this with us?
This is not my part of the lecture, but if you want, I can definitely share.
Please share with us.
I'll give it to Rita.
Uh-huh.
She can share with you.
Okay then. Thank you.
What about? Did you enjoy my lecture?
Very insightful. Thank you. But personally, I thought it was a little bit fast, but still okay. But I could catch up just that part.
You
Other than
see,
that, I'm okay.
HR has advanced significantly. So I cannot make it so easy because there are new terminology that we need to introduce with you.
Okay. Thank you.
What about others? Any other question from anyone?
Hi, Mr. Hossain.
Okay.
Hi.
Can I just check with you again? Can you introduce yourself so that I understand who from which country? Ma'am Wang, you are from which country?
Oh, hi. I'm actually from Singapore.
Okay, you are from Singapore. Ellen?
I'm from the Philippines, but I'm currently working here in Cambodia.
Okay, I visited actually Philippines. I did my one of my diploma from AIM, Asian Institute of Management. So I was there for 2-3 times. I stayed in Baguio City.
Oh yeah.
Is a summer capital.
Yes, Calcutta.
Okay, so Michael, which country you are?
I'm from Malaysia. I'm currently the HR manager, HRBP manager for Motorola Solutions.
I'm supposed to go to Malaysia on 16th of next month.
Okay.
Deliver a lecture for the Putra Business School of Putra University.
Okay.
And I have also a lecture for the Asia HRM conference on 18th. So I'm just finalizing my itinerary. So thank you. What about others? Yes. Toi? You're from Vietnam? You're on mute. Your voice is not coming. Anyway, what about So? Which country So? Anyway, it's good to see all of you here. If you need any communication with me, I'm widely available in social media, LinkedIn and Facebook and everywhere. You can send me information. If you need to organize any workshop or training or conference seminar, you may invite me. I definitely try to go. I have presented more than 100 keynote presentation in different conference and seminar and all over the world. So if you organize something, please let me know. Okay. So can we conclude this by thanking you and have a good night?
Thank you also. It was very insightful and very informational. We learned a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good night. I know that it is 10 o'clock in Malaysia. I don't know about other country, but it is really a time for sleep and food, taking lunch, dinner. So thank you very much.